right. What am I doing? What's going on? I'm so blinky. What's going on, everybody? It's week 73. That's right. 73 weeks of a vlog in a basement. It's now zoned for retail. It used to be our basement. Now it's real. It's Pandora's Deck Box. This is Eat, Ship, and Die, the name of the vlog. The Pandora's Deck Box thing is the name of our LGS. You can go to pandorasdeckbox.com. You can use the code Eat, Ship, and Die to save 5% on your first order. If you use the code Eat, Ship, and Die, you get it. QR code. I'm on a roll. Every week we talk about the news, Magic, Pokemon, a little smattering of that, and then the business news. That's the part you're here for. You like the business. There's little stamps that you can click, and then you jump to the part you want. Go to the thing and watch the business news. All right, let's talk about Magic news. I thought it would be funny to not talk about Lorwyn, the elephant in the room. Just kidding. We're going to talk about a little bit of Lorwyn. Pre-release starts Friday. We're not allowed to sell you anything until Friday, but on Friday you can buy all the shit you want except for collector booster boxes because we only got like 10 of those and we're going to sell them by the pack, limit 2 per person, but it'll be MSRP at $27 a pack. The boxes right now are sitting around $420. Blaze it. Our events are mostly sold out with the exception of Thursday. The Friday is a box league event. It's not a pre-release, but the pre-release is on Saturday. There's 2 of them, and Sunday are sold out. We pre-sold these things because I knew they're going to be popular. We got good pricing and good prizing. If you do pack per win, and then because they're sold out, over 12 people, we're going to do 3 collector boosters. Top 3 get collector boosters in our events. If you're over 12 people, if you're under 12, we get one top 1, first place. That's another way to put it. So far, we've only got 1 ticket sold for Thursday, but we have some interest from people that may want to do Lorwyn pre-release again. It's Thursday at 2 p.m., so there's like people at work and stuff. It's a weird thing, but it's technically still within the pre-release window, so we're like, we're trying to fill these things up, because the more pre-release attendance we can have, the more boxes we'll get next time, and then the more events we can host. We're kind of limited by size, but like theoretically, if we had enough to run an event every night, we could be like 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you get and then you get more boxes, and then you sell the boxes, and then you make $1 million, and you retire, and you go home and you fall asleep forever. Secrets of Strixhaven spoilers. They were printing the templates of the pre-con cards, and there was a Fabled Passage in there, so big reprints. Neat. I don't know. There's nothing to talk about with Lorwyn. We opened some boxes. All right. John and Bree opened boxes for the store in person. We recorded it. We posted it on our website thingy, YouTube. I guess that's what this is called. On Monday. And it was pretty cool. I'll talk about it in the business news a little later. I think I put a thing about we're famous now. Yeah, I put it at the end of business news. But we recorded the thing. I edited it. It was pretty good. We didn't get a huge craziness about we got 1 Japan showcase per box and a couple of special guests and some cool ass cards. The set's awesome, right? But then we streamed a box of our own, Alex and I. It's still for the store, but because we just it was for us, but the shit we don't want, we're going to sell the store, which is like everything, because we might keep it one or 2 things. All right. We opened that box. We got 3 Japanese showcase cards, 1 of which was a fractured foil. Don't go watch it. It was just a fucking shit show. Oh, I have a new mic. The mics were peaky and bad in both the recorded thing and the live stream. I don't know why. It's never been an issue before, but for some reason now, the fucking mics are bad. This one I got for Christmas. It's sick. It's small. I don't have to bring the other ones back and forth. They're not huge, but they're this big instead of like a little peanut thing. I don't know if it sounds good. Let me know in the comments if you like it. Fucking tangents. Pokemon news. There was a Pokemon Center drop last Thursday for perfect order. I'm screaming because I'm high energy. You guys love it when I'm high energy. Confidence. ETBs, booster bundles, and boxes. Booster boxes. We got the PC ETBs. We got 2 of them. They're probably for a personal collection. It's not a lot to sell in the store, but if you were in line at the time that it dropped and you knew about it, then you probably got it. There was a massive amount of product, and we'll talk about that in a minute. This is foreshadowing. But everybody that was there got it. Mostly, eventually it sold out. It's perfect order. Perfect order. The box art looks dumb, but to John's point, we haven't seen any of the Pokemon, so there might be some really cool hits in there. People are shitting on it, calling it Shrouded Fables 2.0, but they don't know what's inside. So it might have shitty looking art, but on the outside of the box, but when you open the packs, it might have a cool Pikachu or Psyduck or something. Just give it a chance, all right? There were leaks for the CRI set. That's the one after Perfect Order. We haven't seen anything about Perfect Order, but now we know about CRI, the English one. It's rumored to be called Chaos Rising or Crimson Blaze. Those are the two hot ones on the market right now. We don't know if those are real. Those are just people making shit up. But Greninja is on fleek, as the kids say. John tells me no one's ever said that. But Greninja, I think, is a pretty cool card. Maybe I inserted it. I don't know. It's fucking 11 o'clock already, and I got to edit this. So we'll see if I edited it. And maybe I did. There are some cool other cards. There's a Crobat and a Floette. Also, all right, Pokemon Lego. The new thing the sneaker kids are flipping are these $700 Pokemon Lego kits. They look divisive. Some people are saying they look ugly as hell, and some people are, they're fine. They like them. I don't know. I'm not which camp am I? I don't know, but I will say that Mega Bloks did it right. Here's the Mega Bloks version and the stupid Lego version. You decide. Put it in the comments below. Mega Bloks or Legos? Nobody will know what you're talking about because nobody's watching this. Nobody watched this far, okay? Riftbound news, Set 2, Spirit Forge, pre-orders happened on Tuesday on Riot's site. They sold out instantly, and I mean, people were fucking pissed. They were so mad, like madder than anybody that's ever been mad at a Secret Lair drop. The Marvel Secret Lair drop was nothing to compare to how pissed these Riot guys were. They were forged in the salt of League of Legends, so it makes sense that they're pissy. We don't know our numbers yet. I didn't even try it. I didn't even know it was happening. And I was like, whatever. There was like a big apology post and they were like, oh, bots. This is an official statement on the Twitters. They were like, the bots got it all. I'm so sorry. We tried and we canceled some orders and some came on the market. This is bad. People are like, why don't you give your LGSs some more? And they're like, well, it's a nice attempt to get rural people that don't have an LGS near them a shipped option that's MSRP. This is all indications that they didn't print enough of Set 2. Demand is insane and supply is low. So I expect Set 2 will be bad. We're going to try to offer it to players for MSRP. It's their goal if we can get a bunch of it from distribution. If we got to source it on the secondary market, then it's going to be more. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. We hosted our first business news. Business news time, okay? You're here now. You clicked on the thing, you jumped to the business news. You didn't hear about any of that shit I was just talking about. It's perfect. We hosted our first One Piece event. It went really well. I was a little flustered because you need a leader card, this Rainbow Luffy card that comes in the pre-releases. I've never been into a pre-release. I don't know. Obviously never hosted a pre-release. They're in the fucking promo packs. The little girl. The girl card? Here it is, maybe. It's $20. What the fuck? You can't sell promos because we're a store. But they're $20. And it was like, oh, here's a card that seems dumb, but apparently it's good in Nami decks. I don't know what that means. And the leader card was behind the Nami promo girl card. So anyway, everybody had a good time. I think we had 10 people show up, which was perfect. No buys. We had 4 boxes given to us from allocation of distribution situation, and we sold through it. So we used like 3.5 boxes for the people over here, maybe 3 boxes, something like that. And then we limited it 2 per pack for the players. They bought some more, they bought us out, it's all gone. OP14, all gone. Azure C7, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know if we're getting any more. You know what we did get? We got some illustration collections. Here, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna edit all this out anyway. You're not gonna see me walk over here and then walk back. Look at this. No, wait, I can't say look at this when I'm so far away. All right, look at this. You see? Illustration collections. These are from distribution. We got these. They're, I don't know, allegedly around like $17 at distribution. They're going for like $80 on the secondary market. Granted, there's pre-sale prices. They'll come down, but we're going to try to sell it to people. I don't know what MSRP is. It's probably like $30. we'll see what we can do for pricing. I don't know. We don't have a lot of them. That's the problem. So again, if we had the volume to sell things for a tiny margin and just sell it infinitely, we'd do that. That's a preference. If we have a tiny amount, we may have to sell it a little higher than market, not less than market, some margin. Yeah, business, all right? Big business. I'm gonna have, my goal in my infinite free time is to do a deeper dive with the finances. I told you like roughly what we made last year. I've been honing that in. Today's the 14th, so we gotta do federal taxes for last quarter by tomorrow, the 15th. So I'm gonna wrap that up, get some numbers, and then hopefully this weekend maybe do a video about money. But while we're talking about money, let's talk about pricing strategy for a bit. I just wanted to I want to make this a thing on our website, and it's like a flow chart, and it's like buying, selling, how it works. For people that are pissed about MSRP, which is only a thing in a bull market. People only give a shit if the price is higher than MSRP. When we're in a bear market and everything you buy at distribution is $10 less on the open market, nobody says anything. We were there last August. We got distribution. We had Southern Hobby. We got one box of Paradox Rift for around $98 or something. It was whatever. This is a secret number that you can't know about. And the market was like $87. It was a booster box for Paradox Rift. I promise you those are real numbers. And we were like, well, we're just going to buy one to crack for content. So we just recorded the Paradox Rift opening. I don't even know if I ever edited it, but that's all we bought because it's stupid. Why would you buy from a market that you could buy it on TCGplayer for cheaper? The answer is you build spend with distro. If we had bought 10,000 boxes of Paradox back then, we'd be able to retire right now. But we didn't because we were stupid. We were just starting out and nobody wants to buy the shit that is under market. So anyway, all right, that was a tangent. Sorry. Distribution. If, like I was saying, we can get stuff at distribution for the not jacked up regular opening price. Again, they release things in waves. Wave 1 is the normal price that they agreed to with Bandai or Pokemon. And then wave 2 is like, oh, we found some more, but then now it's market price. Sorry. If we can do the wave 1 pricing, we're going to try to be MSRP or very close. We're like $6 a pack on things like Lorwyn Play. I think they're $5.50 MSRP. So it's like in the cents range, right? The packs of OP14 were $6 a pack, and they were, I don't know, I think they're $5.50 a pack MSRP. We're close. Market for those packs, by the way, are like $15 for OP14 right now, or $12, whatever it is. Riftbound, same situation, $6. I think they're $15 online. So anyway, we're trying to do that. We're also trying to target players, people we know that come to our events. They either have like the treasure tracker token, or we just know them because they come here all the time. Or if we're gonna like talk to somebody that wants to buy some Riftbound, I'm like, all right, what's your favorite deck? And then if they're like, oh, there's so many, we're like, all right, you're a scalper, bro. We're pissed at you. So we may eventually, like, if this is a problem, if we have volume of product, that say we had 1,000 Origins booster boxes, we don't. If we had them, we would sell them, and we got them from distro. We would sell them at MSRP, and that's what, $130 a box or something. But we want to do the shrink wrap thing. Bandai is now on board. They're ripping the shrink off of all the products they're selling. Obviously, you can't come to a store with the shrink is already ripped because it's fake product and shit. But if we have a box, we can say, all right, player appreciation pricing. We see that you play, you have a deck, you can talk about the game that you're playing, you're buying this product for. We'll cut the thing and we'll sell it to you. If you want to keep the shrink, we'll sell it to you for under market because that's our gimmick. Gimmick is under market. If the market is $400, we'll be $380. You know, if you want to keep the shrink. If you're a scalper bro, you're an investor bro, you're not here to play the game, I think you can pay market. That's just what makes sense to us. If you're a player and it's hard to get and you're trying to get into the game, whatever, we'll get you some packs to play. If we're buying stuff on the secondary market, like we just bought some Pokemon at 80% market, we're going to sell it for, if we can, 20% over what we paid. That's our floor margin now is 20%. So the 80 to 20, so we're going to be at market price for this new Pokemon stuff we got. We got a bunch of Pokemon Center boxes. We got some booster bundles. We got some ultra premium boxes, some fun stuff we can put on the shelves. But if the prismatic ultra premium collection is $450, we're probably going to be $450 because again, we bought it at 80%. We had to pay shipping. So we're actually going to lose a little money at $450. We may be $460, but to have the shelves have something on them is important. And we were getting a little sparse after the holidays. It was pretty slow going up to Christmas, but after Christmas, people had all this like Christmas money to spend or whatever. They wiped us out. Like our acrylic dispensers are still pretty rough, but the sealed product was just flying off the shelves. So we had to go to the market and we're like, I gotta find some sealed boxes to buy because distribution doesn't have any. That's how we price things. All right. You with me? If we could be under, again, if we can find a deal where we can buy something at 70% market, then we can be 10% under market and make our 20% margin, right? It makes sense. We got to keep the bills paid. We got to pay our staff now. Rent's pretty cheap. All our overhead's pretty low. Again, we're going to talk about this deep dive into money. I just want to say that like we're trying to be reasonable whenever possible. And it's going to be product to product, case by case. Pokemon's not always going to be under market if we can't find it. If we can pay 90% and then we got to be 10% over market, that's the only thing that makes sense to have stuff on the shelves. We'd rather have stuff on the shelves that's 10% over market if we had to pay 90% to get it, you know? It just makes sense. There's always like, there's going to be deals too. Like there's times where I buy something like these goddamn Tohoku and the Fushima, the whatever they are. These Japanese products are often very volatile, and I buy them for $400 and they go to $200 and I'm pissed. So we're going to lose money when we sell it under market and sell it under our cost, which occasionally happens. All right. We bought a big collection. I already put it in there. I hope it's not a scam. I just gave the guy some shipping labels. We saved him some shipping money by using our pirate ship account. All right. Here's important news. A bunch of stores are signaling huge Pokemon market correction coming this year. Starting with perfect order and going forward, it is very likely that Pokemon is going to overprint to suppress the market prices. It's a plan, the pendulum swings, and then it swings the other way. It's just how it happens. We're entering that overprint era. They opened another printing facility in Europe just recently, so English cards are no longer shared between Europe and America. There is another printing facility opening in America later this year. If you're a store or otherwise placing large pre-orders, be careful. Do not overextend. Do not overpromise to your distributors that you'll buy 10,000 boxes of perfect order ETBs because you might get it. And if you get it and it's, you know, you bought it at whatever the price is, I can't say it's $50 a box and then market goes down to $48. It's going to hurt. You're like, oh, that sucks. Maybe I can sell it locally for $55 and we'll break even after Shopify fees, but it's no longer double your money season, I think. Who knows? With the 30th anniversary, we could have some insane new level of Pokemon hype, but I kind of feel like the Pokemon hype has been saturated. Be careful. We placed, all right, enough talking about money and shit. All right, no, we placed an Infinity Tokens order. Infinite Tokens, that's what they're called. Megan, the lady who invented them or makes them, produces them, whatever, she got us a backdoor into the wholesale thing where we can buy it for a little less than retail. We can sell it for a little bit. Again, we're chasing those 20% margins. That's the idea. It's actually pretty good margins, even with their Etsy store pricing being on sale. I think it's like close to 50% on some of these things. So we're going to sell some Infinite Tokens. If you want to buy some here, we'll get a couple bucks. TCGplayer is raising their fees again. Currently, it's just marketplace sellers, level 1 to 4, not the pro sellers or the direct sellers. I think direct has its own mess. I haven't been keeping up with direct. To be fair, I'm not a direct seller, all right? So it doesn't matter. This also doesn't matter because it doesn't affect pro sellers, but marketplace commission fee cap is going up to $75 from $50, and commission fees are going up to 10.75 from 10.25. more reason to sell on Manapool. Manapool is great. We've been rescanning all our shit. I'll talk about that in a minute. We're going to list it on Manapool or a single site. I'm making a single site, singles.pandorasdeckbox.com. It's not there right now, but it'll be there soon. It's almost done. We were trying to get pre-sale access on TCGplayer, which has some annoying constraints. You have to sell like 300 things a month, and you have to be a 99% feedback or whatever, so move things within 2 days, because you can get some insane early bird pricing. Like, remember when Spider-Man collector boosters were going for $900 a box? We could have done that if we were scumbags and we had the numbers. The problem is with pre-selling is you don't know what you're going to get from allocation until like 2 weeks before the launch. So you have to be really confident in your numbers from the last couple sets going back forward. Not comfortable enough for it yet, but if we are, the fees to sell on TCGplayer, like it's $900 a box, but you're going to pay a lot of fees. If we just sold it on Shopify for $8.90 at the time when that was under market and normal, then, we'll make more money. So we're just kind of abandoning TCGplayer altogether, with the exception that Manapool only has support for Magic right now. So One Piece, Lorcana, Pokemon, Riftbound, all that shit's going to stay on TCGplayer for now. We can't scan Riftbound with a Roka, but the other ones we can, so we'll get there. And then eBay goes for the high value stuff like slabs and things that you need pictures, really well documented, conditioning and stuff. That'll be eBay. All right, that's kind of how it's been shaken out recently. All right, listen, this is a long video. All right, we started rescanning everything, all of our singles for Magic. We're using the Chaos method. Chaos method is not a new thing. We're reinventing the wheel here. I don't want to pay a system, Sort Swift and all these other ones. There's a bunch of systems that people have made, and they want to pay X fee per sale on any platform that you sell it on, or it's a big upfront fee or a monthly fee. I hate it. I'm like, I could just do it. So I'm doing it. The problem, I don't want to touch cards after the scan with the Roka. I want to put the cards into the Roka. You have to pre-sift the cards a little bit. You can't scan foils and non-foils together. You can't do foils and etched foils or foils and surge foils together. You got to separate those. And you got to look for condition. You should condition everything together. Most of the stuff we're taking in is near mint because either we're cracking it or people that cracked it in the store just put it in a bulk box. So most of the time it's near mint. Occasionally we got to separate it out. So that's the only time I want to touch a card, until I go pull the card. After you scan, what we were doing is we were putting it into set, and then rarity, and then foil or non-foil, and then alphabetical order, which is great if you have one scan of up to like 900 cards is the limit of the Roka. The small one. There's an XL one that's like twice as much, but it's also twice the price. All right? That is great if you've got 900 cards. If you have 1,800 cards of the same set, you have to do one set, and then you do another set of these cards, 900, you sort it, 900 cards, you sort it, 900 cards. Now you have to merge them. I've complained about this in the past and why things have sucked and why we were not selling singles that much. I got all the commons, I got to merge the commons. I got all the rares, I got to merge the rares. What you can do is if the two sets that you've scanned have less than 450 commons, you can do another Roka sort to alphabetize that commons section. But if your commons are more than 900 cards, what are you going to do? 3 batches of Roka things to put it in alpha order, or are you going to do it by hand? All right, those are the options. You're going to spend all your Roka's filter life and the electricity to send it through the machine, or you're going to do it by hand, and who has time? So I don't want to touch them. I don't want to touch the cards anymore. I want Roka to scan and identify and alphabetize the cards. And that's what we're doing. We're putting in bin systems. So what Amazon does and what really highly efficient card shops do is they do little batches of like 50 to 100 cards, just little chunks, and they put like a number on it, T115. And then you do another 100 cards, and you have T116, 117. these little batches, and they're alpha sorted within there. With Amazon, they don't even alpha sort it. Like they're talking about 3-dimensional objects and boxes and stuff, but they'll just be like, go to bin Z412. I think this is, maybe they changed it. This could be old knowledge, but they go to the bin and they're like package Z, and it's just like a loose package, but it'll have like a big bag over it that says Z. You just grab it and you chuck it in. But now I think robots do it all. Anyway, chaos system. You got just shit, just mix whatever. But it's alphabetized. So we're doing it by 600 card lots. You scan 600 cards. Are you still here? Are you asleep? You fell asleep. That's all right. I'm going to keep talking. You love the sound of my voice. 600 cards. Why 600? Because in a 5-row, the things that, what are they, Ultra Pro, whoever sells the 5 rows, you know the 5 rows. In one row, you can fit 1,200 Magic cards. There's less with sports cards. They're thicker. 1,200 Magic cards in one of those things, and still have room to like the cards flop over a little bit so you can read the top of the cards. You can probably fit like 1,500 per row, but if you do 1,200, you get enough room to like wiggle room. So half of 1,200 is 600. So you can get 2 sorts in every row of a 5-row container. That's 10 sorts per 5-row. All right. What happens is you just take any fucking cards you got, you throw them in the machine at 600 units of cardboard per sort. All right, so you do that. It alphabetizes it. It knows what sets it's in, doesn't care about rarity, doesn't care about the set. It's just alpha order. So now you get an order. You say, I want to buy 10 soul rings. All right, here's what my script does. First of all, you need a script to process those and call those bins and store them in, I'm storing them in a database with Python and shit. And it knows where the cards are. So then you get an order. I want 10 soul rings. All right, well, there's one in bin 2 at position 412, which is, starts with the letter S because it's a soul ring. So you go to bin 2, you flip the cards, there's S, go a little bit further, there's soul ring, you grab it. Okay, I needed 9 more. Well, there's one in bin 5, and then there's 4 in bin 4. So you go to bin 5 and you go to 4 and you get the soul rings. And that's it. That's all done. You don't have to touch nothing no more. You just pull them. You do have to do a little bit of this to get to the alphabet. I'm falling asleep. What time is it? I'm putting myself to sleep with this. All right. That's the idea. We're going to see how well it does. We've got maybe half of our stuff rescanned. We're about 10,000 cards in and we had 22,000 before, and we have way more that we hadn't scanned. We have bulk up to the ceiling in the basement of our house. We're keeping the date stamp that comes with the Roka to the bins in case anything fucks up. And then, all right, so then the other part you got to do when you pull the cards is you have to, if for some reason the card wasn't there, you got to say, it wasn't there. And there's like a checklist or whatever. Check them off. These are the cards you pulled. Now make a burn list. What the burn list does is it deletes it from the database locally if we're hosting it locally, or remotely if we're in the remote land. And if these cards are also stored on Mana Pool, it's going to delete the inventory from the Mana Pool system because we don't want to double sell things. All right. Now, the question becomes, is it going to work? I will make the Python script and all the database shit open source. You can have it. I don't want anybody to pay me. If you want, you can donate to the snack fund or send me bulk or something. I don't care. It's going to be open source because I hate fees. That's where this started 20 minutes ago when I started talking about it. USPS is raising rates. Pretend we didn't just spend 20 minutes talking about Roka. Sort of. The ground advantage under 1 pound will go up by 4% on average. Most shipments between 10 and 20 pounds will actually go down 26% on average, which is kind of good news for us because most of the stuff that we sell sealed is around that range, but usually UPS is cheaper anyway. And, we trust UPS not to lose our shit as much as the post office does. Priority and international is going up, but that's not really big deal for us. All right. More business news. We inquired about a storefront with a lot more space. It was like 8,000 square feet. We finally called and got a price. They wanted for 8,000 square feet it's like a triple net. So you got to pay taxes and snow removal and heat and whatever. The total cost was $19,000 a month for an 8,000. It was perfect. It was huge. It had a loading dock. It had storage in the back. It would have been nice. It would have been so nice. But it's been empty for like 11 years. It was an It's a Party before that, and the rumor is It's a Party's coming back. So, yeah, stupid. They're coming back. How do you make $19,000 a month in profit from party goods? Is it really that? We in the right business? You can make that much money selling balloons and costumes? All right. But this is okay. Where we're at is awesome. Everything here is perfect except for the space. Everything about this space is perfect except for the space. If we had more space, perfect. It would be a perfect space. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk to our landlord and see if anything opens on the floor above us, if we can scoop that up. You know, it might be more expensive because it's not in a dank basement, but it's going to be way cheaper than anything. And we love our landlord. He helps fix things, and there's a new water heater come on. He's great. Love our landlord. We could keep the retail space up there, and we could do the shipping and the Patreon stuff in the basement and the storage of our, products and things. One final note. Shout out to Bad Boy Gaming, who just called out our Lorwyn video in his most recent video. Super cool to see us. We're famous now. John and Bree are famous. I'm not famous. He was recapping all the openings for Lorwyn collector booster boxes and trying to correlate the WPN ambassador hit rate versus non-ambassadors. The ambassadors is like people they send free product to open on their streams. And he's finding that a lot of the ambassador videos have really juiced boxes. What do you know? It's a little skeevy. But I will say, if you want to go watch some content, you can watch that live stream where we opened one more collector booster box after John and Bree, and we got a ridiculous amount of hits. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey. Alex and I appreciate you. I guess Finn does too. He just doesn't know English yet. He knows a couple words. He's a good boy. Speaking of not knowing English, I have to go now. Did you see all the shit in the play space? I have to do the trash tonight, and it's now almost midnight. And I gotta edit the video when I get home. I'm gonna roll the die. It's gonna tell us our fate for the week, and I hope you guys all have a good week. Comment how your week went last week. This is a Tungsten D20. It tells us our future. And here we go! It's an 11. It's an 11. You see that? Huh? All right, goodbye!